Hello, vintage outboard motor fans. This is Team Mike down here in South Louisiana in the heart of Cajun country, and today I'm making a video on the best paints that you can use for your vintage outboard motor restorations. It's a big issue and I know you'll have some interest in this. So if everybody's ready, here we go. Alright, so I've been doing this about 6 years now, and one of the biggest issues I found in the beginning was zoning in on just the right paint, finding the correct color, a quality paint, and price is important too. So those things made a big difference. So finally, I think I have it cornered. I have 3 go-to paints that I use for different applications, and I'd like to go over them with you right now and give you the pros and cons of each paint. So the first one, and my favorite one, is a Rust-Oleum gloss protective enamel. It's a good paint, and the pros are that it has an enamel built into it which makes the finish look like it's been clear coated, and it's a gloss, which is a shiny color. So that's the pro to it. Another pro to it is that it's $4.98 a can at Home Depot and Lowe's, and it's a good chemical resistant quality paint. The cons to it, the only real con, well actually 2 cons to it. The first one is that they don't have enough variations of color to match the Johnson & Evinrude colors that I do. So I have to go outside of their selection to find that. And the other one is that because of the enamel in the paint, the nozzles tend to clog. I guess the enamel, after the use, the enamel sits in there and dries and it clogs up. You can soak the nozzles in mineral spirits overnight to keep them clean for the next day. I just grab another nozzle off from another can of paint. You can buy the nozzles online, but they cost almost as much as a whole can of paint. So that's the first recommendation. Second recommendation is Dupli-Color Perfect Match. This is an automotive touch-up paint. You can get it at AutoZone or O'Reilly's. The pros to this particular paint is that it has a great variety of colors, and they come in a metallic. This is a light metallic blue, matches really well with the late 50s and early 60s Evinrudes. So that's the pro. The con to it is that it's expensive. It's like $12 a can, and it's only half as much paint as the Rust-Oleum. So that's a con. It's not really, the other con to it is not really chemical resistant. It does a great job on the hoods, but on the lower units where it's exposed to fuel and oil, it's a little iffy, but it's a good option. It's really good looking paint. The third recommendation is this Moeller engine paint, outboard and inboard. Good paint, chemical resistance, actually made for outboards. That's the pro. Another pro too, you can get it by part number, by OMC part number. Very good, and it's not that expensive, $15 a can. The con to it is, for me, is that it doesn't go back into the 50s and 60s colors. This is a 70s color for the Evinrudes. It's got a little more silver in it than blue, if you look at the match right here. But if you're doing that vintage, 70s and 80s and 90s and up, this is an excellent paint. I highly recommend it. Alright, so there's my 3 recommendations. I hope that's helped you a lot. In summary, I gave you 3 great paints to use. The first one was Rust-Oleum. The next one was Dupli-Color Perfect Match. And the last one was Moeller. So with all these 3 assortments of paint in your portfolio, you ought to be able to get all your motors touched up paint really well. Hope you enjoyed. If you did, please click on subscribe. And everybody enjoy yourself and have a great time. Laissez les bon temps rouler.